What's up, CFO gang? Yeah. It's your boy Jay Tuck. Eagles fans, real Cowboys fans, stand up. What's up, Cowboys Nation, man? Everyone in the chat, let's get things lit, man. Let's turn up tonight because we're going to have a real fun show. We're going to show how these Eagles fans, how we get down, Cowboys Nation. We're going to rep the star tonight. You know the vibes, man. CowboysFansOnly.com. It's your boy Jay Tuck. Well, as you guys see tonight, right, we got some guests in the house. Man. Pest in the house. But they've been wanting to have these conversations, right? They've been wanting to talk like, Tuck, let's talk. Let's talk, you know what I'm saying, sort things out. So, of course, I had to reach out to one of the best. Well, one of my favorites, like, you know, I'm not an Eagles fan, but one of my guys, man, Philly Mike, he does some of the best Eagles content, if you even want to say that. So I had to bring him on my home turf because normally I'm going to his channel, I'm on his field, but now he's on my field, CFO gang. So CFO gang, Cowboys fam, let's welcome to the show my guy, Philly Mike. What's going on, bro?
Oh, we're ready? It's done with the Cowboys talk. It's about to get down with some Eagles.
I'm trying to give you the proper intro, bro. I'm trying to roll out the red carpet for you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to CFO gang. Appreciate you for having me on. But it is his home turf. Yeah. He's setting it up. You know how? Listen, I don't like the Cowboys at all, but nobody does it better than Jay Tuck when it comes to editing, the layout, all that good stuff. So we are live on the Philly Talk podcast too. And I see Eagle Nation in my chat. And don't worry, you know, we're gonna talk about you guys. But hey, great to be on your channel, and you always do great work, my guy.
Appreciate you. Likewise, like I said, you one of the good ones. I see my guy Joe in the house, man, too. Y'all some of the good ones, but it is what it is. We gonna talk tonight. So, Mike, since this is your first time on my channel, right, I'm gonna give you two options how we can do this thing tonight. Kind of a red pill, blue pill, all right? The red pill, we can do what we normally do, just kind of scream over each other for about an hour and a half, over talk each other, you know what I'm saying, and give the people the show that they want. Or the blue pill, we can sit back, have a gentleman's conversation, have context, speak factual football, and really educate, you know what I'm saying, and really put on a show. But it's up to you. I'm gonna let you pick red pill, blue pill, my guy.
We're gonna go blue pill because the season is starting, and I want all the facts, the supposedly facts that Cowboy Nation is gonna tell us. You know what I mean? Because I just want to see if it's the same facts I heard since 2013, 14, 15. So we're gonna see.
Now I'm looking in the chat and I see everyone saying red pill. I knew they're gonna want the red pill, man. They want violence, but I feel like we can give everybody red pill once we get to week 3. Because once we get to week 3, it's gonna be a lot of red pill going on when we do that round table.
Exactly. Listen, you're gonna get red pill the week of. You're probably gonna see a couple collabs, whether it's me and some of the Cowboys guys, some other Eagle content creators like our guy Joe Castro. Listen, that whole week leading up to Sunday or Monday night, it's Monday Night Football game, right?
Right.
Leading up to Monday night is going to be red pill, red pill. But listen, here's the reason why. You know what? We can only go so far with the blue pill because there's no love lost, and the blue pill starts to turn red. You know,
it's eventually going to turn a little red. It's probably going to turn a little red, and I feel like the chat, they already on red right now, I see. But I want to kind of have a gentleman's conversation so that way Eagles fans can understand where Cowboys fans come from, and maybe we understand where Eagles fans come from. But we got to get these issues solved out, man. So what ultimately led to today's show, right? I posted something on Twitter the other day. And listen, y'all. It's funny. You can see the meme right there. If you watch House Party back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I got the words edited out because of cussing and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get copyright restricted. But I put this Jalen Hurts video out there, and I said, y'all want to sit at the cool table and tell me, you know what I'm saying? The bullies are back, right? And I'm speaking about Dak, Zeke, and Tyron Smith. Now, I'm going to be fully transparent with y'all, fam. This wasn't meant for y'all. This was actually meant for the Buffalo Bills fan base, because the Buffalo Bills fan base, they was on me the other day because I said something about Cole Beasley, and they was all on me. The only difference is I didn't feel like editing Cole Beasley's face, so I just put Jalen Hurts on it, right? But then I was doing stuff, but you know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I don't feel like editing the face, so I already got Jalen Hurts on there, so I tossed Jalen Hurts on there. All right, so it wasn't really a shot made for y'all. You guys got caught up in the line of fire, but y'all had some interesting things to say. So you actually, and you and Joe and some of these other Eagles fans do not believe the Dallas Cowboys are at the cool table. Is that correct, my guy?
Nah, I mean, it depends how you want to describe cool table. I mean, popular, America's team, all the things that they get. I mean, they get the Monday night games, they get the primetime games, but at the end of the day, you know, is it really the world wanting to see you guys win, or the world, you know, giving you the stuff again because we continue to see you guys lose? And it's always the biggest thing when it comes to the build up into the season to the big letdown, you know what I mean? Cowboy Nation always gets crazy hyped. And I'm not saying you guys are calling Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, since Dak Prescott was a Dallas Cowboy, and even before that, some of the Tony Romo teams, you guys on paper are almost all. The only time really we probably beat you guys on paper was the 2017 season when we dished down the Alshons and we went heavy with the free agency and stuff and how we hit everything on the dot. And Carson Wentz came out to be an MVP quarterback that season. Right. But other than that, you guys have been on paper the best team in the East, and being the best team on paper 5 years doesn't translate to 5 division titles. You know what I mean? And that's where it's like, what?
Well, let me stop you there. When we say the best team on paper, though, our defense, we have never really had a core top 10 defense. So when people think about the reason why the Cowboys are going to be the best team on paper, they're thinking from the offensive standpoint. But as you guys know, it takes both sides to win a championship. Don't we agree?
True. And in the offseason, when you sign the guys like Griffin and you got Gerald McCoy, and you went over there and signed
Terry Poe and Daryl Worley, that was our paper championship, was bringing in those guys?
Well, it was your paper defense that when you look at it, all these ex-Pro Bowlers are going to do this, that, and the third. And whether it was the scheme, their attitudes, you did better with the less heavy paper. You know what I mean? Mm. Rock beats paper. And the Philadelphia Eagles throw out rocks all day. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Right. Y'all have had a better defense historically than the Dallas Cowboys. I'm saying when people make us the paper champs, it's because, you know, Dak and Zeke or Romo and Jason Witten. And so those are the players that really puts us in the spotlight, but it's not from a defensive standpoint. So you mentioned Everson Griffin, Don Terry Poe, Daryl Worley. They were cut by week 4. They wasn't even on the team anymore. So when you say paper champs, you know, are we always the favorite? This year, we're not the favorite. Everyone's picking Washington and New York to kind of win the NFC East, right? So we stay in the same lines as you guys.
I think across, we're not just the national media. If you look at the Vegas lines, I believe you still are the favorite to win the division. And honestly, I think, you know, even our Super Bowl season prior to the season started, you were probably the favorites because we were coming off a 7-9 rookie tandem, Wentz, Doug. Let's see. Now, as we started signing these free agents, and people started saying Alshon, Torrey Smith, LeGarrette LeBlunt, Patrick Robinson, you know, Chris Long on the defensive side, this, that, and the third. Right. Maybe it's swayed a little bit, but I can't remember a time where Dallas wasn't favored to win the NFC East because, again, you're talking about last year. Once Dak Prescott went down, maybe things shifted, but we're talking about May, June, July. The Dallas Cowboys, I don't want to put money on it, but I think for the last handful of times you've been favored, and things don't always turn out that way. You know, I'm not a big Stephen A. Smith fan, but what can go wrong will go wrong. And that's my thing. Look, when I look at your roster, I don't act like you don't have talent on it.
All right.
But in my lifetime, I've seen, you know, that the most talented rosters don't always necessarily win if it's not put together right.
You guys had the dream team. I remember that.
Yeah. And when you throw a team together like a Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there's still a glue guy. That's Tom Brady, a guy who can oversee the coach. When you got the Kansas City Chiefs, you got a glue coach, and Andy Reid, who besides, you know, Bill Belichick, I mean, his resume stacks up to anybody. You know what I mean? Right. And so the Mike McCarthy talent all around him, I'm just not a believer until I see it. Last year could have opened my eyes a little bit, but then, Dak Prescott gets hurt and things go south. So I still got to see.
Right. We both got to see from both standpoints. But what people really want to say is when we are the paper champs, we are the favorites because we're America's team. So let's get the easy stuff out of the way, all right? Let's get the easy stuff out of the way, right? We all know the Dallas Cowboys is one of the most profitable franchises, not in the NFL, but all of sports. You agree?
Oh, yeah. Jerry Jones owns it. It's so like a luxury,
Right. It's a luxury. So that's why we're always talked about. That's why we're going on, you hear Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, like they talk about it frequently because we are the top of the cream of the crop. We are the news story, right? And so when I say as a Cowboys fan, we keep the NFL's lights on, that's what I'm meaning, right? So I pulled up an article, right? And this is from one of the executives of Sunday Night Football. I'm going to read this if y'all can't see it. He says, while people love the Cowboys or love to hate the Cowboys, it's clear that people love to watch the Cowboys, said NBC Sunday Night Football executive Fred Gaudelli. Their team has tradition, exhilarating wins, crushing defeats, larger-than-life personalities, a showplay stadium, and everything in between. And then you add the owner, Jerry Jones, who always keeps the team relevant regardless of a record. America is captivated, right? He also said the Cowboys have been NFL's premier television team since the days of Roger Staubach, right? Tony Dorsett, Tom Landry, 1970s. He says, even growing up in Eagles country in South Jersey, ex-NFL exec Mike Lombardi was surrounded by Cowboys fans. Back in the day, there were a lot of spotty TV coverage across the U.S. What we get one game, Lombardi said, and often was featured the Cowboys. That built their national fan base. The Cowboys were always on Thanksgiving game. They were always in the playoffs. They had visibility. Finishing 8-8 frequently isn't a death knell either, Lombardi added. Except for a few bad seasons, the Cowboys have not fallen off a cliff for long stretches like the Giants and the Washington team, he noted. They are usually in contention that keeps them the top of the mind and top of ratings. What is your thoughts when you hear that?
Well, I would agree. And I also noticed that he didn't mention the Philadelphia Eagles being a team who doesn't stay in contention either. It's the Giants and the Washington football team that go up and way down and then stay down for a little bit and then they rise up for a little bit. See, the Eagles organization, and again, a lot of times when we say last 25 years, because first of all, I'm speaking of my life. Like I can go back and research and stuff and listen, if my organization was 10 Super Bowls in the past or not, I became a fan in 1997, 98, you know what I mean? And that's what I know. Now, of course, I'm going to go do my due diligence in the past and all that, and it is what it is. Right. But what I'm saying is we hold 25 years because it's a new era in football, too. Think about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the way of winning back in the day, maybe, look, again, one of the ways y'all won, and I know people don't talk about your defense enough, and you had some key contributors on that defense in the 90s. But you think of the big three. A big three won't win you a Super Bowl anymore, you know what I mean? And I will agree that although you guys haven't been to the NFC Championship games in god dang long time, you do, because of Jerry Jones' Bucks, because of the lights, you stay relevant. Even in a 6-win season, you're going to stay relevant because of the drama that Jerry Jones provides, whether you love it or not. And then again, 8-8 is not a death sentence. It's hard to get really great from there because you don't get the top picks and stuff, but it's not.
Right.
You can always build. You go 8-8 next year. You always can think we can get better. You know what I mean?
Right.
But here's the thing. A team that is now classified as America team, a team that was at the pinnacle for a decade. It gotta feel horrible to be in the shadows of the success you used to have for a long time. We're talking 20 plus years. And it's not about rubbing it in the face. It's about experiencing it. And so I know you look at your roster now and you analyze it. You see the moves you made, whether it's the first round pick and Micah Parsons, Jabril Cox, getting Kelvin Joseph and all that stuff. You look at Mike McCarthy and you want to analyze your team right. But in the back of your head, you're always thinking, man, we've had some good rosters. And we've never been able to put back-to-back playoff wins, whether you think the Des Bryant catch was real or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the thing is this. As an Eagle fan, I've seen, Kevin Cobb come in and we have a bad season. We flip a quarterback and we change. I've seen a coaching change and boom, we're either close to 500 or on the way up. And so I have the backbone of an organization that whether we want to talk about Howie or not, he's he's built something in this last 25 years that we are one of the most winningest team. Well, we are tied with Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken, for the most playoff victories in the last 25 years. And it's like, okay, we'll go back further. Yeah, we can always go back further.
Right.
But in the last 25 years is when the NFL started to take that different leap. You could probably say 15 to 20, where it's been more of a passing game and not a running game.
Right.
Again, defense still always going to win championships, but we're going to start seeing people rely on offenses, and you need a quarterback. You're not going to win a Super Bowl anymore with the Trent Dilferts, the Brad Johnsons. You're not going to get it done. If you don't have a B-plus quarterback, you're not going to succeed anymore.
Right, I agree. So would you agree that right now we have the better quarterback than you guys?
I can't deny it. I mean, you got the most proven quarterback. And again, Daniel Jones, and this is not supposed to be on about Washington or Giants, but
right.
Their quarterback position does not scare me at all. Do I think the Giants got better in the offseason? Of course. But when a guy throws 11 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, I don't want to talk no more after you explain that. Right. You know what I mean? Your second year is supposed to be the jump, not the heavy 2 steps back. And I know people are going to say, what did Hurts do? But we can't say what he did, but we don't know what he didn't do either. You know what I mean? This guy is coming in and commanding the troops in such a short time. And I've seen the upside. I've never said that consistently Hurts is going to be able to do it. I think he can.
Well,
I see the upside though.
How did we get to Hurts? Because, I mean, these conversations last year was all about Wentz. How did we get to Hurts?
Wentz blew up. And I'll give you that. Look, at the time I argued on paper, who's the more talented quarterback, and I honestly thought it was Carson Wentz, because although you look at Dak's career, I think he was more consistent than Carson Wentz. But we saw the upside in 17-18 season of not only putting the stats on paper, but also translating to W's. Look, I know Dak doesn't play defense, and right now Dak is the best quarterback in the division. Listen, I love Hurts, I love my Eagles, but I gotta legitly tell the truth. But I am curious to see, not physically, if there was a change in his play, because it was a kind of clean break and he's been ahead of schedule. But I want to know mentally if that is. Now, Dak Prescott seems to be tough. The dude is a born leader. I'll give you all that. Some of the same things y'all saw in Dak Prescott early, being a 4th-round pick that nobody believed in, is what we see in Hurts. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Here's the thing, though. Hurts' rookie season, he didn't have Ezekiel Elliott, a Des Bryant, a Great Wall of China. In Hurts' first year, we see the tangibles, but he had the Great Wall of China restaurant. He had a back who only played 12 games and a coach who wouldn't run the ball and no number one. So, could you imagine if Dak got thrown into to start his career as a 4th-round pick, not really known, with a bunch of You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that would have made him any less or not, but Dak got molded from a really great team. But I will not front. Dak took over that team. It's Dak's team now.
Right.
3 years ago, would you admit it was Ezekiel Elliott's team 3 years ago, prior to Amari coming?
Just the 2016 season was Zeke's year. The rookie year.
So,
the rookie year, because I mean, that was never really intended for Dak. Like, Dak's rookie season was never supposed to happen. That was supposed to have been Romo. But so Zeke pretty much carried us in 2016, even though Dak was rookie of the year. So Dak did do his part. And Dak did go toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game. It was our defense once again letting us down. So we really can't say, Dak wouldn't have done this or Dak's the true leader. Like I said, I agree Jalen Hurts kind of has some Dak-ish traits with them. But, so he does. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bash Jalen Hurts. Like, I like Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. But he does have a lot of Dak-ish traits in him. But I don't think he's the guy for you guys, because you've been trying to find a new quarterback. You moved on from Wentz. Wentz was your Super Bowl winning quarterback. And look how quickly you guys turned on him, right? And so... Yeah, and so it's like you guys really didn't give Wentz a chance. As soon as he started flaking out, him and Doug were out of there. So it's like, how can you guys feel going into the 2021 season that you guys are in a better situation than us Cowboys? Because we know what our issue is as Cowboys fans, right? It was just injuries. So you mentioned like Mike McCarthy was kind of unproven last year and different things like that. You guys were lucky enough, you guys didn't even have to play Dak Prescott last year.
True.
You played Ben DiNucci and Andy Dalton. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Like, so you guys didn't even get to play Dak Prescott. And see, because if you probably would have played Dak Prescott last year, the sentiments that we were having last in conversation have been a lot different because we would have been a playoff team, right? But I want to go to that. We're gonna get to the 2021 season, but I want to dive into a few things. I got some pinpoints. I see my guy Joe from Philly Talk. He's in the house. Philly podcast. Now, you, my guy Mike, had some issues when I wanted to call you guys nooners, right? Right, because you guys play at noon, right? So when do you guys open up your first game versus Atlanta? At 1 o'clock your time.
Noon Pacific time, but
noon
over
Central.
here in Central time, whatever that time. Listen, East Coast boys stay on the East Coast time thing.
Right.
We call them 1 o'clock games.
1 o'clock
Get
games.
your popcorn
1 o'clock games. So let me ask you this: do you know the difference between 1 o'clock games and the 4 o'clock games? I guess would be your time.
More eyes on the 4 o'clock games.
Right. Exactly. So when you look at it, the top rated games are the 4 o'clock games. So when I was calling you guys nooners, it's because you guys are opening up the season at noon. And so I was
correct.
So why were y'all so acting like so all the things I'm saying that we keep the lights on, right? We're the highest in ratings, right? We don't play at noon on opening game of the week. We haven't done that since like 2008. Like, why were y'all so drawn back by that? Because it's
what was my response? What was my response? I don't know about the other Eagle fans because listen, your thing got quote retweeted a bunch of times and the Eagle Nation went crazy with it. But my response was this: I actually furthered I gave you your flowers. I said you're right. The Cowboys are more worried about being popular than getting dubs.
Okay, gotcha. So that's where you stand, right? So I just want to make sure that we agree, because I know Joe was like,
correct.
I don't understand the difference about a noon game and what that really means and all this. And so I just want to make sure that we're clear that when I say the cool table is because we're the most talked about, right? The highest rated, and we're the topic of discussion whether we want to or not. Do we want Skip? I would guarantee you, every Cowboys fan right now in the chat, we don't want Skip Bayless and Stephen A talking about us. They do it regardless because they got mouths to feed. So when I say that we keep the NFL's lights on, this is exactly what I mean. So I think.
But can I say this real quick too? As an outsider, and again, I talk to a lot of people who do a lot of sports. I'm into everything, so I kind of understand what people's feelings are. And listen, I had Davion Taylor, an Eagle linebacker, on the channel, right? And I asked him about who does he hate the most in the NFC East. He said the Cowboys. I said,
right.
And I said, why? He said, well, listen, I grew up as a Saints fan and I still hated the Cowboys. But here's what I'm trying to say. This is the thing. I honestly believe part of the reasons why you still continue to get the most views and all that is because when you hate something, you love to see them lose.
That's false. That is false. I don't actually, and I said this before, it's the Washington's the team I really don't stand. It's not you guys. I know a lot of Cowboys fans bang with Eagles fans. Washington, that's the fan base and teams I personally don't like and get along with. I don't watch them on a Sunday. I don't. I have no idea. So if you hate us, why are you watching us? Because if you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you watching us if you hate us? Like, you guys can control that, right? If
correct.
you want to impact our ratings, impact our revenue, don't watch. Why are y'all watching?
Well, here's the thing. Look, at the end of the day, I'm a football fan, and if the Cowboys are only one playing, I'm watching it because I most likely have somebody in fantasy on that game. Maybe if not my season long, I play a lot of daily fantasy. I'm always on sports books. I'm in play betting and all that stuff. That YouTube, work, and gambling. I'm all over the place. Right. But here's the thing. This is just me, and this is no bias or not.
Right.
Regardless of what the Eagles are doing, if just to say the Eagles start the season 1-5, right?
Right.
The Eagles start the season 1-5, and the Cowboys start the season 5-1, and I start to wave the red flag saying we're not winning the division. I'm done watching y'all. I'm only watching y'all if I can feel like, because I'm all about superstitions and all that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If my kid's on my left leg and we score a touchdown, bro, you're not leaving my left leg until something bad happens.
Right.
So if I turn on the Cowboys game and y'all doing bad, I'm going to keep watching. If you're doing good, I'm going to turn it off. But I'm always involved in football because that's just what I do. I will say this. Part of the reason why you guys get watched the most is because they put you on the TV where it's most accessible. the night games, the 4 o'clock games, because it's going to. And again, you said Stephen A and Skip talk, you win or lose. But guess what? I think sometimes you get higher ratings on a Cowboys drama-filled losing season than when they're 13-3, and it's like, dang, we can't critique the Cowboys because they're good.
Right. But that's the thing.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Go ahead.
I don't even know how you look this stuff up, but look up the ratings for the 2000. What year did you go 13-3?
2016.
And you were look up that year ratings and look up the year you lost to the Eagles in that last game where Dak's shoulder was hurting, right?
2019.
And I don't know. Let me know. You know what I do today? We can do.
Right.
Let me know which one was heavier, a losing this season or a 13-3. If I'm a better man, I think maybe you were watching more by the public, not Cowboy Nation. But when you guys
if my memory serves me correct, I think that 2016 year when Dak was on a tear was a highly rated season because I know that Packers game that we played versus Aaron Rodgers was one of the top across the NFL. So, but I haven't compared it since 2019.
I was talking regular season.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
or a regular
season.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll talk. We got the stats, but let's get to football, right? So, granted, all-time numbers, right? So, Cowboys got 5 Super Bowls. Eagles got 1. All right. 23 division titles, meaning the Cowboys has won the NFC East 23 times to the Eagles 11. 32 playoff berths to the Eagles 23. Our record overall is 70-54. We have 57% winning percentage across the NFL all time, which is the highest compared to y'all 49%. So, would you agree that we are a major impact when it comes to NFL legacy? And also, when you compare us to the Philadelphia Eagles, we are far superior just looking at those numbers.
Yeah, if you want to go overall franchise, you can say that. But again, the NFL has not been around for 50 plus years. It's been around for 100. I know you guys weren't necessarily around here, but listen, a championship, a Super Bowl, if they only would have named it this, if they only would have changed the name a year sooner, I think we won in 1960, and then the Packers went and won had to win in 1961. It was called Lombardi. You know what I mean? Right. It might have been called something different if they just decided to pick up the pace in doing that. But them 3 championships, when it was called the championship, we were still considered the best team in the National Football League at that time. And again, I don't have all my 1950 research done because I don't care. I shout out to my great grandparents. They were living a good life. You know what I mean? My great ones. But yeah, listen, organizational wise, you got, and that's why, they listen, I believe you in the 90s, you earned whatever you wanted to talk about, right? If you wanted to call yourself America's teams, not only because you were popular, you were also the bat, you were the cool, you were the bullies, right? There's a difference between being a bully and cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I think I came at you more for the bully talk, not the cool talk. Because listen, in the 90s, you were bullied. Now you're cool. Is a difference.
But we call ourselves bullies because, and we'll get to that, but it's like we were injured last year. You do understand that those bullies, two of those bullies that I had in that video, they didn't play last year.
Let me ask you this though. The last time all 3 of them bullies played, what was your record? And they did play together for a whole season.
Tyron Smith, he never played a whole season. He didn't play a full season in 2019. He played a majority of the season, but in 2019 we were 8-8.
When's the last time he played a full season, though? A lot. Wow, it's been like 4 or 5 years now. So Can you bank on that now?
No, but now we don't have to, though.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, we got insurance policies now.
so I'll give you that. And that's what you got to do. Once you start seeing something that keeps occurring, you got to fix that as an organization. But look, them bullies played the majority of 19, but they really weren't bullies in 2019.
2019, right. I get you. 2020, they were fine.
For 3 games?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we were still one of the top scoring offenses in the NFL. Those 3 bullies, they were just fine. It wasn't their fault. It was them other guys on the other side of the ball. That's their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right. But look, let me ask you this. All right. So if I told you, you know what I mean, 2021 season is going to be over. Dak's going to be a top 3 quarterback in statistics, but you're a fringe playoff team. You know what I mean? Like, my whole thing is this. Dak's success has equivalated to his pockets. Cha-ching!
Let me ask you this.
But it had this.
Name the Cowboys' top 4 defensive players. Since you watch us,
now?
You want to see us lose. Yeah, now.
We'll say definitely. I like Vanderneck, as my guy Joe Castro would say.
He might not even make the team. I mean, he might.
He's never healthy.
Go ahead.
Tank Lawrence is still a pretty good run stopper. He hasn't been a pass rusher the way you paid him to be. So I'll give Tank Lawrence. Let's see. J.D. Smith had hype in the beginning. He fell off. Safety plays bad. Corner play. I mean, Trayvon Diggs played better at the end of the season. Your defense is not that good. I would agree. But why? Right.
Hold on. Let me.
I don't know. I don't know your top 4 defensive players.
Exactly. I don't either, and I'm a Cowboys fan. That's the problem.
Let me ask you this though. So, wouldn't you think that maybe your owners should forget offense and start getting some defense?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the conversation that we've been having, right? It's like, all right, our owners need to focus on defense and getting more people. Hold on, bro. I'm trying to block these weirdos in the chat. Let's see here.
Hey, yo, if you're being weird in my chat, don't be weird. Like, talk your talk, but no spamming. Like,
I think it was I think it was a bot that said something crazy. I think.
Yeah, because there'll be bots in my thing too, though.
Yeah.
So shut.
Yeah, man. So it is what it is. So yeah, man. So when you look at this, what I got on the screen right now, we got 23 division titles. That's just as many playoff berths as your team has over all time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm 30 years old. I had a very good life as an Eagle fan.
So is that why that you guys like shrinking? Because you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair to y'all, right? You know what I'm saying? I got your little last 20 years. There you go. That's what you guys want. But is that why you guys always want to shrink it down to like 20 years or 25 years because of your age, or because it suits you guys as better as far as statistically?
Well, listen, I'm always gonna cater to me being able to have a better arguing point. But again,
right,
listen.
Okay. Thank you. That's it. That's what you guys do. You guys shrink it. So I could do the next 17 years. Focus down the next. Like, you can always fudge the numbers in your benefit. But go ahead. I got the last 20 years up for you. So we got 0 Super Bowls, 0 Super Bowl appearances. You guys got 2, right? 1 Super Bowl. We got 5 division titles to your 9, 7 playoff berths to your 13, and then you guys had the leading record of 23 and 20 versus us.
Yeah, and see, I'll give you the 20 years because the thing is this: the 20 look, the age thing could play a factor in it, and these statistics were better than you in all of them, but you still stay type relevant. Again, the NFC East is not a joke. Listen,
right.
when it was 2006, 7, 8, 9, listen, Tony Romo had some good years. He couldn't ultimately win the big game, but either did Donovan McNabb. But these are good years. Look, at the end of the day, only one team raises the trophy. But there's a difference between being a winning organization and a losing organization. And I never clowned you guys to be the Giants, where they had the ultimate success in the last 20 years twice. But when they go in the dumps, it's like a 3 or 4 year dump.
Right.
Like Washington, like let's get out the division. Cleveland, Miami,
right.
Oakland,
we're not
the
Jaguars. Like we're, and that's what I've been trying to explain to not only Eagles fans but everybody across the board. We're not a losing franchise. Mediocre, yes, I'll wear that the last 20, 25 years, right? Mediocre, but as far as a losing franchise, that's not us. You know what I'm saying? So
and I wanted to say this too, though, and again, the game evolves like every decade. It evolves to a different level. Like it goes up increments in the years, like 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There was a little difference each one, but a decade is when it's like, okay, 7 years went by, now the run game is not a power thing. Look, right. you don't have the Deuce Staley's, the Jerome Bennett's. Most of your running backs are scat backs now. You have a Derrick Henry once in a while, but look at the top backs in the league. They're underweight compared to 10 years ago. Right. And so the decades changed the era. And what I'm trying to say is right now, in this new era of football, mainly because of Jerry Jones, you guys haven't been as successful because, let's be honest, just by knowing you guys, because it's like forced to, it's like that class you got to take in school. You don't pay attention, but after you're hearing the teacher repeats itself so long, you start to retain some things. You know, Jerry Jones wanted the credit for them Super Bowls, but it went to old Jimmy Johnson, right?
Right.
And then he let it go. And he's not willing to let a coach be a coach. And ultimately, Jerry Jones, as you say, is more about the box office than winning. He swears in his radio shows and all this stuff that I'll do anything for a Super Bowl, but the one thing he needs to do is let off the reins. You know, if I got a CEO,
right,
if I'm paying the CEO to run my company, I'm going to let him run it because I trusted him on it. And look, again, if I look at the Cowboys on paper, you got talent. You will be going into the season. Nobody will not say that you are not a possible top. I'm going to say top 5. I'm not going to give you too much flowers on here. Top 5 offense.
Right.
But I've seen the top 5 offense Dallas Cowboys still struggle, whether it would be defensively or you still, you know, while being a top 5 statistically, a crucial interception, a crucial Zeke fumble,
right,
a missed field goal because you lost some games on your kicker. So just because that's what I'm saying, paper champs don't always translate. And listen, the East always has a way to throw a twister in it, whether it's a Washington come out of nowhere or I can't picture the Giants just because of Daniel Jones. But what I'm saying is right now you are the favorite to win the division.
So why would we be the favorite? Due to our offense, right?
Yeah, you're all, and it's an offensive league. You still need defense.
Right, I agree.
But, you know, again, look, I did the numbers. You were the 11th or 12th ranked defense against the pass to end the season. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'll keep it 100. The reason why is because every team in the NFL could run the ball down our throat and they really didn't have to pass.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
So, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah, every team but the Eagles, because we go against the 12th, 11th ranked pass defense. We're up 17-3. We continue to pass the ball. Then your defense starts taking it. Listen, like, you know, look, when you got a coach that runs Miles Sanders in one game 6 times, a fully healthy Miles Sanders touched the ball 6 times, and they weren't beating us by more than 10. It's like, huh? Well, I love Doug. Well, and I know, like, hey, shout out to CFT in here. He always says, do you really just want to kick Doug to the curb? No, I would have gave him another chance, but like he blatantly looked Eagle fans in the face and slapped us over and over and over again.
All right. What's up, my guy, Philly Notion? I see you in the chat. So let me ask you this, bro. And I'll ask people in the chat. Since we've been mediocre for so long, what have you guys been doing with all that time? Why didn't you guys catch up?
Because only one team could win.
All right. So you admit it's not as easy to win a Super Bowl as people want to make it seem. Like, look how great Aaron Rodgers, he only has 1 Super Bowl. Drew Brees, only 1. So it's like, why do people hold the Dallas Cowboys to that standard? Because what we've done in the past, like, it's not easy to go back to back to back like we were back in the 90s. Like, I think people get caught up with what the Patriots have done. But things have changed. Like we said, in the NFC East, we haven't even got a back-to-back division champion in quite some time.
Yeah, it hasn't been in what? Since, like, it got to be 10-plus years.
Was like
but that's what I'm saying.
The last one?
Probably.
Yeah.
They got to have some type of crown. But look, the NFC East is a division that everybody has a Super Bowl. Right. And most, like, look, there's been multiple times where we threw 3 teams into the playoffs and stuff, and now they added an extra team. Look, the NFC East is on a turnaround overall. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But here's the thing: catching up when it comes to wins and playoff stuff is different. Again, this. You're right. It's hard. First of all, it's hard to build.
Right.
Dynasty teams, like, it's going to be hard to accumulate that much talent on the roster, and it goes to show because you haven't been able to do it since the 90s. But what I'm asking you is this: football is a what have you done for me lately? Mm-hmm. And again, we can keep talking analytical, but at the end of the day, on Sundays, we don't give a rat's bleed what stats are. We want the dub, right?
Right.
And your team hasn't shown me that you guys can put the right players on there to get the dubs. And like I said, to me,
get the dubs versus who? You or versus other teams in the NFL?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right.
I still give, look, because it's a forward thinking, everything's forward thinking sport. You know, you could build off a first round exit if your core is young. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every team scenario is different. If Tampa loses next 2 years, they're in a bad situation because once Tom Brady goes, they might got to start over if they don't get that quarterback. That's how important quarterback is. And Tom Brady's always going to keep you in the playoffs, so you're not going to get a high pick. The question that has been answered is, well, here's my question to you.
All right.
What is different from this year in your mind than the last 5 talented offensive or talented roster Cowboys teams that you threw out there? What is to you different this year?
One, new coach. I trust Mike McCarthy more than I trust Jason Garrett. 2, Dak Prescott has emerged. He's a much better quarterback than he was the previous 4 seasons, if healthy, right? 3, was it actually should be 1, CeeDee Lamb, right? So CeeDee Lamb.
He's a beast.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's a beast. And now we have 3-headed monster at the wide receiver core. 4, offensive line health, but not only the health, the depth behind it that we got last year with our offensive line being out. A lot of our young players got a lot of games last year under their belt, so now we have an extra layer of depth. 5, Zeke, right? We got Ezekiel Elliott returning back. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Dan Quinn's going to be much better. He can't be any worse than what he was last year. He can't be any worse. How can he be worse?
Atlanta,
because here's what I'm saying. Even though last year, and I did a show on this, right? The main difference last year is that even as bad as our defense was, if we would have fixed our turnover margin, we were turning over the ball way too much. But our defense at the end of the season, as bad as they were starting to get the ball back. So if they're able to do that, and Dan Quinn is known as what? What is Dan Quinn's specialty? You know?
What?
The run defense, right? So Atlanta was bad last year in the passing defense. The run defense, that's his specialty. So if you add Dan Quinn, you add Micah Parsons, you get a full season of Randy Gregory, you get healthy DeMarcus Lawrence come back, you add some of the free agents that we added in Brent Urban, our run defense should be a lot better than they were last year. And we don't have to have a top 10 defense. Just get the top 15, top 17-ish with our offense staying intact. And that's why we're confident going into the 2021 season. Now, let me flip it around on you, my guy. What makes you confident about the 2021 season?
Well, I'm on record saying that the question marks I see, I do see upside in it, but I've never claimed, this is not one that I can put my money on. Like, I have this proof because there is unknown. Like I said, I saw 4 games of my leader coming into 2021, Jalen Hurts, and 2 of them I would love to duplicate, and 2 of them I don't want to duplicate. But again, I can't. My biggest saying that everybody's downplay last year, it's hard for me to criticize when a leader and your coach is gone, a leader and your quarterback is gone, and the leader up front weren't there. It's hard for me to criticize anybody who played, whether it was Jalen Reagor in that toxic mix, whether it was Hurts, whether it was this, that, and the third. Here's the one thing that I think that I bank on. And last 2-3 days, I'm really crediting what Howie Roseman's been able to do. Right. I do not like his drafting, but listen to this. We went from a defensive coordinator that is going to play his way and with talent is good. And that's what Dan Quinn reminds me of. Look, Jim Schwartz was good against the run, bad against the pass. Right. Dan Quinn is going to put your corners on a island. And if Trayvon Diggs don't take the next step, if whoever's playing on side of him, whether it's Brown or Joseph, doesn't, listen, you might, well, we're going to see. But Nathan Gary, a guy who got cut from the Niners like a month later when they tried to sign him because he's garbage, we replaced him with a linebacker who did something that nobody else did. Eric Wilson, 1 start because he came in for the injured Anthony Barr, or whatever his name is, for Minnesota. Nobody in the NFL had 120-plus tackles with 3 interceptions and 3 sacks. That shows he's versatile. And our linebacker core dropping back in coverage was one of our down spots. We got him. Replaced Nathan Gary with Eric Wilson. Jalen Mills, a liability at safety. We go get Anthony Harris, a quality safety in 2019, led the league in interceptions. We go ahead and change out a rotational piece in like a Vinny Curry or a Jannard Avery for a known commodity and Kerrigan, who can't do it every down. But give him 35-40% of the snaps, so you don't get 30-year-old Kerrigan. You get an Energizer Bunny Kerrigan. You know what I mean? And then last but not least, a spot that we couldn't fill for the last 4 years. A second cornerback that you can qualify C+ or better. I got Steven Nelson as a C+, maybe B- cornerback, but in a system that features cover 3, cover 2 heavy zone, he's good. If we're playing press man, he's not so good. But now you look at a tandem in the secondary of Ronnie McLeod when he gets back, Anthony Harris, Steven Nelson, and big play Slay, and Slay can play the ball in this defense. Slay was throwing shots at Jim Schwartz all throughout the year last year, talking about it's hard to just change the way you play, and I got to play the receiver. Play the receiver now back to the ball. I'm a big boy. I'm gonna put up and do it. But he was throwing shots, so I see a defense that just got better. When we were negative 60 mil, we were able to do that. So as much as this is a rebuild, what I would say, the Eagles and maybe the Cowboys too are one of them teams that don't rebuild for multiple years. We stay consistent while we do that. And the Eagles' future with accumulating all these 1-year deals for prove-it deals because the cap's going to go up and everybody's getting we're going to have money next year. I mean, I see us in a good spot, but the only thing that could derail it is if Nick Sirianni ain't who I think he is and Jalen Hurts. If them two ain't who I think he is, well, then they're the two most important positions, and that's why I won't put my money on it. But I really do.
Exactly. You have a huge question mark at two of the most important pieces of a football team. Is your quarterback. You really don't know. You've seen flashes of it, and then your coach, you ain't seen much of it. So as Eagles,
I don't like your coach that much either, though. You know what I mean? Without Aaron Rodgers, I don't really know about.
But he's more proven than your coach. I mean, hell, our defensive coordinator is more proven than your coach, right?
It's proven to be horrible.
I mean, he's a Super Bowl winning champion, and he took the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl as a head coach, right? That's more.
Yeah, and this dude is known for the. Hey, Doc Rivers was a good coach until he let the Hawks come back, right?
But he's still proven though, right?
Proven that. Hey,
but he's more proven. I'm saying he's more proven than what you guys currently have in house, man. So that's what I'm trying to say. As far as historically, we're a better team.
But let me say this too, though. See, the Dallas Cowboys under Jerry Jones love to take retrend coaches because it's really Jerry Jones' team anyways. You know what I mean? Like, the Eagles are – look at all the –
he just said that he would think about hiring GM today, so I'm not sure if that's cap or not, but, you know.
Who?
Jerry Jones said he would consider bringing in a general manager. I don't know, so.
Yeah. Is it Jerry Jones' other ego? Nah. Right. But look at this. Let's look at the last couple years of Philadelphia Eagles coaches, right? So when Andy Reid became a coach, he was the quarterback coach for the Packers, right? Nobody wanted to make him the head coach. He was a guy who had no experience. Andy Reid did pretty good for the Eagles. All right. After Andy Reid, we go get Chip Kelly. I hated his overall assumption I hated him as the GM, and his system wouldn't be able to work long term. But he came in and had 2 winning seasons. Then he was gone. Then we get another guy in Doug Pederson, who's like, all the coaches that got picked, nobody wanted Doug Pederson. They wanted the Ben McAdoo, trash. Right. The Adam, this trash. Who's Doug Pederson? And by the way, he won us a Super Bowl. So the Eagles have a track record of getting coaches who were just an assistant or a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator. And they're like, who is this guy? And so far, my track record is check, 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 check. So listen, you build up all that good credit, as my guy LB would said. Who am I to disagree with you? I don't know who Nick Sirianni is, but you did it again, I think.
Yeah, you think. So like I said, y'all have a lot of concerns and uncertainties, and that's why you were hesitant to make that bet. I understand. I didn't think you would make the bet anyways. Like shots at the Philly notion, he was crazy enough to kind of go on the ledge and actually take the bet. Like he took the cheese, right? But you're smart, you know what I'm saying? Because anyone who thinks that Philly is going to be this team, now granted, things can kind of work in your favor where injuries happen, and maybe you mess around and win the division. But if you're looking at it right now, what you think that, considering what we have in the NFC East, that you guys are pretty much the bottom tier going into 2021 season?
I mean, USA Today said we're going to win 3 games.
Right. And Vegas has you at 6, the over and under. So you said you're a betting man, so you taking the over and 6 or under?
I'll take the over.
Taking the over
by a little. I got us between 6 and 9.
I'm headed to Vegas in about 10 hours. I'm taking that under. I'm taking that under. If you want me, bro, hit me on Cash App. I'll make the bet for you. But I'm about to lay that bet down that under on 6.5.
I live in the gambling state. I can go on sportsbook right now.
Okay, you're good. All right, yeah. So, but yeah, I don't see it. I don't see, like I said. But you guys are optimistic.
But this is the thing. This is one of the reasons why I'm willing to bet you. Look, I'm a gambling man, and there are signs that could say the Eagles can come out the gate stumbling a little bit.
You willing to bet what? Right? You willing to bet me on what? The original offer?
I said we took the bet on the jersey, the wearing the jersey.
You did take. You took one day, right? One show.
Yes, a live stream where you guys can come in and make fun of me.
All right, so here's y'all for everyone that's watching, right? We bet that whoever wins the most, right? So if the Eagles win more games than the Cowboys in the 2021 season, I'll wear Eagles gear on my live stream for one show, and vice versa. Me and Philly Notion.
A nice long hour show. You know what I mean? A nice little hour piece.
Yeah. But then me and Philly Notion, we have a whole week worth, right? So it is what it is. So it's already locked in. So I got you. I forgot I got you locked in, man. So it's live stream. All right, yeah. I like to have an invite that live stream. I like to have an invite, you know.
Oh yeah, you could come on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But look, and the reason I can bet that is, let me give you them. Again, I just said 6 and 9 games. You're like, 6 and 9? That's the gambling side of me. All the things that point in the direction I think we can go if Jalen Hurts just takes an extra step. I don't need him to be a top, whatever it is.
Right.
But there's also a side of me that knows I've seen Cowboys teams like this crumble. So I'm banking on the look. I think the Eagles can come out and be that 6 to 7, 8 win team, which to me, if you're talking about everything starting over, you just won 4 games and you come out the next year and you go close to 500, push 7, 8, I'll take it because the trajectory's up. And look at the picks. You got 3 first-round picks. You got a lot of stuff. We can, do a lot of different things. But here's the thing. We're going to see after this year. Yeah. But that's if we come out and we just listen. With just changing Carson Wentz and Doug Pederson, got to be 3 wins on top of 4. So that's about 6, 7 wins right there because that's how bad they were. You know what I mean?
But that was your Super Bowl coach. So how did he go from Super Bowl winning coach, all these flowers, to just a bad coach and had to be replaced? How did we get to that point?
Well, let's be honest. I gotta really consider how much Frank Wright was involved as the offensive coordinator, because I didn't say we automatically went downhill, but we made the playoffs back-to-back years after the Super Bowl. But our win total went down each year after Frank Wright left, and the Colts got better. So I gotta put that into it a little bit. But I do think Doug Pederson was a great leader of men, galvanizing the troops. But once things really started to spiral with Carson Wentz and you had to pick sides, I think he couldn't command the other side as well. And sometimes, look, Andy Reid's a great coach, but after what happened with his kid and the ongoing shenanigans and stuff, sometimes you just got to start over. That's not an indictment on Andy Reid, who goes and wins a Super Bowl with the Chiefs and is going to have a Hall of Fame resume. We had to start over. Things just happen. And for Doug Pederson to go in a meeting with Howie Roseman and say, I want to bring my whole staff back. That was like, no, your staff didn't get it done. The recipe that we have for the Super Bowl, we did the exact opposite for multiple years. A struggling quarterback being forced to be one of the most have the most QB throws, attempts, whatever you want to say. You don't do that to a struggling quarterback. You try to mitigate that and change it. Every single press conference, he says, we got to get Carson Wentz out the pocket. And every single game, we couldn't get him out the pocket. That's the story. You got a guy in Jalen Reagor who you put back at punt returner. He returns it for a touchdown. He never gets another snap back there. Huh? Like, these are things that are undeniable. Miles Sanders played 12 games, and half of them, he didn't run the ball more than 15 times. Huh?
But that's your Super Bowl winning coach. Just trust him.
I did, and
it backfired. Exactly, my guy. So I guess,
and that goes to show real quick. Sometimes a coach gets a Super Bowl and he's never the same, a la Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. Good luck.
I got you, guy. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. But listen, man, I'm not worried about Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn. Like I said, the team is going to be better. The only thing that can really derail the Dallas Cowboys is if we're not healthy once again. We do know that, right? That's the one thing that while we're having these conversations.
I really wish I knew you the beginning of the 19 season. I really wish I knew what you were saying.
I'm trying to remember. It starts to all blur together, man. But I was pretty optimistic coming in 2019 because we came off the playoff game versus when we lost to the Rams in 2018 or 2019 playoffs. But yeah, I was probably optimistic going 2019. And I feel good about this season as long as we can stay healthy. I feel like last year, if we would have been fully healthy and we only turned out with 6 wins, okay, then the conversations, we have to look at things a lot differently. But the way that our offense was playing, if our defense just meets us halfway, I promise y'all, this Dallas Cowboys team is going to look a lot different, and it's going to look bad for the bets that we got.
Yeah, but again, and your defense got to play better because your offense was carrying your team. Right. But in that small sample size of Dak Prescott playing, the Falcons, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Browns, I mean, let's forget the Giants game where he was in, you won. He didn't play the whole game, but he had to lead, right? Let's just look at the games that he played before that. That was what, 3, right?
4.
What, the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Browns, and the Rams?
We had Rams, Seahawks, Browns. Yeah, so 4, yeah.
And you guys were 1-3.
Okay. So
all I'm saying is this though. So seeing the top 5 offense in the NFL start 1-3, you would think, man, we've seen the greatest show on turf, so-called. It didn't work in that small sample size. I think Voch said it that if you look at the 3-4 games. Remember when y'all were arguing, CFT and all that, about being a little bit better than the Chiefs offense statistically and stuff?
Right.
I think he argued the first 3 games with Dak, you guys were. The difference was the Chiefs were 4-0, you were 1-3. How does that explain? 5 + 9 + 3 + 7 don't equal
our defense.
11.
So if you think about it this, right? So the Rams get in the first game. We easily could have won that game. We gambled that game and just lost it, and we still should have won it. It was a bogus call, right? So it wasn't like we got blown out that game. So we should have won the Rams game. The Falcons.
What about the Falcons game?
The Falcons game, we got a slow start. It was bad. Zeke was.
Dan Quinn said, "You know what? Take this because I'm about to be a D coordinator."
No, because Zeke was fumbling, having issues. Our defense was playing bad. But the fact that we can turn on a click of a button and switch like that, that's why the Cowboys fans act the way we do when it comes to our offense, because we know we did against Seattle. That Browns game was even worse than the Falcons game. Dak just came alive in the fourth quarter. It was like boom, 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 right? So once we clean up all the turnovers and the early fumbles and our defense just meets us halfway, we're going to be more than just fine, unless there's any injury setbacks.
So here's the thing. Dak Prescott has been a quarterback that takes care of the ball in his career, his totality, right? But he's also, in the early part of his career when he was taking care of the ball, was tasked to throw a lot less. In the offense where you want him to play Jameis Winston and sling the rock, that is going to be a lot more opportunities for interceptions. So I don't got the numbers off the top of my head, but since Dak Prescott has been a 4,000 plus 5,000 quarterback, I mean, you might who's to say that they can be corrected because of the style of play you're going to have?
Well, what happened last year that Dak had to do that because we couldn't do the run game because we were down by so much, right? So it's like,
yeah, you can't run the ball when he's down 20.
Yeah. I mean, if we'd have ran the ball versus Cleveland, we'd never been in the game. So it's like we have to start striking back, and the way we're able to put up points, because y'all haven't seen the full scope of CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, a healthy Blake Jarwin, Ezekiel Elliott in our offensive line. Y'all haven't seen that yet. You didn't get to see it last year. You saw a snippet of it. You haven't seen it. This year, knock on wood, you're going to see it, and you're going to sit back and say, this is really scary. It's going to happen. As long as we stay healthy, if this offensive line comes back healthy, Blake Jarwin's going to be back, Dalton Schultz going to be back, Zeke's back, and this wide receiver core, how do you match up? Let's have that conversation. How do you match up defensively versus our offense?
We're going to have to disguise a lot. We're going to have to hope that our front four get at you guys. We're not going to – listen, when you go against an offense like that, you don't send blitzes. You might send a timely blitz here and there to keep Dak off his mark a little bit, but you can't because you're going to have all the help you can have in the back end. You're going to have that for the simple fact that you got – listen, I never said that you didn't have a three-headed monster. I definitely agree with all that.
Right.
And I look at – I've seen talented offenses – fall apart a little bit if you're missing a part. Listen, I got to see how your offensive line stays intact. The same way, they talk about our guys going in and out multiple times. You guys haven't been able to put up a healthy line for a decent amount of time too. Tyron Smith is always hurt. Lyle Collins is coming off some big things. They got to stay out there healthy because that makes or break a team. We saw the Chiefs crumble, and that's why I look at them. I think they added let me stop exaggerating. 4 new offensive linemen from all season and draft. I mean, they ain't playing with it. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. The offensive line does matter. But we're getting ours back. We're getting ours back. Yeah. That's what people understand. We're getting ours back. Even if, there's some more injuries, like I said, we added extra layers of depth. And don't even say that in the chat because I've been watching camp. Dak looks perfectly just fine. He was out there dancing. He was out there running routes, playing wide receiver. He was doing all sorts of stuff, man. So
let me ask you this.
Eagles fans hope Dak isn't going to be what he is. That's what they do. They hope. He looks a little sluggish. No, he doesn't. Stop that. Sure.
Let me ask you this, and this is my guy who gave a super chat, which I think you already read. So how do you know, all right, not Dak's mobility, but because I do believe if it's a clean break, you should be pretty good. Aaron, my guy Aaron with the $5 super chat asked about his mobility and with a serious injury. How are you so listen, a mindset is hard to get over too. You know what I mean? And when Dak Prescott said, let's stop talking about it, was it more that he's going to overcome it, or is it more, because an injury could be in your head. Listen, you tear your ACL, that spin move that was so deadly, you always think twice. And in football, a game of inches and a game of seconds, if you think twice on a step into a pass or a juke, it can change the complexions. I mean, look at Eddie George was this close to winning the Super Bowl. But Eddie George was that close.
But I think someone just said it in the chat. It's knowing Dak's psychology, his mentality. He was playing on a franchise tag and he was still doing it. So if he's paid now, there's no, there's no drawback.
Oh no, he's gonna give him his
all out there. So I'm saying
I would never question Dak in that sense.
So he's gonna go out there and give 100%. So I was I think when Dak said stop asking about it because he was sitting in a podium and they kept asking about it, bro, there's this other stuff going on. Stop focusing. He's fine, right? And so I think Dak is perfectly fine. People around the NFL, specifically Eagles fans, they want him not to be okay. But it's But even if it wasn't right, let's say for instance Dak isn't the same, then you give me my offensive line back, you give me a 70% Dak, and you give me a 85% Ezekiel Elliott. That's still enough to win the NFC East and be in playoff contention. I feel.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, like I said, the Eagles won 4 games. We had a whole shift in the team. Everybody's young. I think there's upside with the Eagles, and now you're starting to hear a lot of people. Look, you're starting to hear some people, whether it's listen. Ever since Carson Wentz left the team, our one of our favorite analysts, Chad, helped me out with it. He played for the Lions. He's a quarterback. He was a quarterback. He talks X and O's on Get Up a little bit and stuff like that. Come on, somebody let me know in the chat. You got to know, Tuck.
You said Lions? Nah.
He was trash.
That's out my scope.
What's his name? Dan Orlowski. There it goes. Shout out to whoever. Yeah. Yeah, what I'm saying. He was off the Eagles bandwagon. They said we sucked as soon as Carson Wentz left. But now as we're starting to put some stuff. Someone said Dover. We put some stuff together. You know what I mean? Things are starting to show up. They're starting to see this, that, and the third. People, Adam Schefter hearing reports that the Eagles roster is better than what people think. They got people saying if we had a Watson, we're a Super Bowl team. And I understand if you're talking top 5 quarterback play, if you believe Watson is, that gives it up as well.
Right.
But again, listen, the Eagles roster has a really even set of young and old. Here's the difference. Our young is unproven. So our young is unproven, and that's why we don't know how the future is. But the old players we have on the team still have 2-3 years. We don't know how we're gonna replace them. But let's not front the Fletches, the BGs, the Kerrigans, and now we add Anthony Harris. We still got Slay. You look, we were third in the NFL in sacks last year. We were banged up. We're gonna get healthy, and we add Kerrigan. We were third in the league in sacks. Like, people think Washington's defensive line is so dirty. And again, we won a Super Bowl with Mills and Darby on the outside. But they looked a little bit better throughout the season because of our D-line play. And the D-line play we had with Jim Schwartz was a little different because of gap discipline for the wide nine and filling your lanes as a linebacker. We're going to be able to play a lot more freely. It's not going to be a bend but don't break. We're going to take some risks. And I'm excited to see big play Slay in a defense that fits him. I think our defense is going to be inside of the top 15. I'm not going to say top 10 yet. I think our defense is going to be inside the top 15 for sure, which is, again, I would say, 16, 15, 14, I'm going to guess right now. And as the season goes, maybe we can creep up. But last year we were in stats in the bottom 20s. Now, again, Jim Schwartz was that bend don't break. I think we were 20th in points allowed, but statistical, god damn, we were bad.
Right. So before we dive in, because I want to answer a few questions if you got time, my guy. So shouts out to my guy Keith with the super chat. He says he got nothing, Tuck. Yeah, it is. They tried. Says great answer. Go Cowboys Nation. I appreciate you, D-Town. And then what's up, my guy Spoonie? Appreciate it. So I think after this gentleman's conversation, right, we can agree that the Dallas Cowboys, we make more money than y'all. People want to watch us more. Our history is better. And then going to 2021 season, we are predicted to be a better team. Will we agree? I think that's what we kind of ended up, right?
Predicted, but won't be. Shout out to Spike 3. You know what I mean? You got Eagle Nation here saying top 5. You know what I mean? Top 5.
Whoa. So you predicted to be, but we won't be.
Because you were predicted to be a lot of times, and I haven't seen it. I'm all about the receipts. I haven't seen you cash in. Like, you could write a check for about a numbers. That don't mean that I'm going to be able to get it out of the bank. Mm-hmm. The Eagles, listen, your checks might be 100,000. I go there, I don't get it out of there. Our checks might be only 10 stacks, but we cash what we say.
So right now, would you say that the Cowboys are in a better situation than the Eagles going into the 2021 season? You already said it because you have questions and markers about your coach and your quarterback.
You're in a more known. You're more of a known commodity besides the blunders that happen in some way, somehow. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, going to the 2021 season, you said the paper champs, right? We look better on paper than the Eagles.
Yep.
All right, so let's agree. So when you say about relevancy, are we more relevant? We're more relevant. We get more ratings. We get more views. You know what I'm saying? We got better history. And today, current where we stand, we are in a better position than the Philadelphia Eagles. As of right now, at the paper, July 26th.
According to betting sites, according to if you want to make money, if you want to bet, if you want to take the favorites right now, the Cowboys are the favorites. I can't disagree with we're not just talking about what ESPN says. We're talking about Vegas. Vegas don't lose. Right. I know people win money from Vegas, but they don't keep the betting sites open unless they're raking in the money. And right now, their professional decision is the Cowboys are favored. But I take money from Vegas. I don't win all the time, but I'm taking it this year. Taking the Eagles to win the East. Let's go.
All right. So I think that was the reason I wanted to have a healthy conversation. We peeled back the layers. So when you see me on Twitter or see my guy Rome or other Cowboys fans saying that we are the cool table, we keep the NFL lights on, this is exactly what we're speaking about.
And when I say that the Cowboys prioritize being the number one rated team than the number one winning team, I'm going to stand on that mark. Right now, Jerry Jones and Cowboy Nation can talk about how cool, but you can't talk about how good.
But you guys can't either.
nobody thinks we're cool, but for some reason,
no one talks about winning. Like no one associates the Philadelphia Eagles culture with winning. You guys don't have a winning culture. What you guys are known for is your fan base. That's your signature.
A winning culture? Yeah. We're over 500.
So, but I'm saying, like, when you say not associated with winning, you guys aren't associated with winning. You have 4 wins last year. We're last in the division.
We have the most playoff wins in the last 25 years, tied with Green Bay in the NFC. We're pretty relevant.
Okay. So you're tied to winning because of the last 25 years. So we can talk about history, but only if it's in a specific scope, right?
Why go back 50 years? Let's go back 100 years. Then.
Well,
I mean, you gotta
look at the big picture, my guy. But like I'm saying, even currently today, where we stand in 2021, we're predicted to be a much better team than you guys. Like, listen, by far.
When we played you in 2019, when you had the bullies, you had a Zeke, you had a Dak, you had Amari, you had Tyron Smith, probably, I don't even know, whatever it is, right? When we played the bullies in 2019 and Vegas had you favored by like 7.5 points, we beat you. So my whole thing is this. I can't talk about how good. I'll give you May, June, July. You've been winning May, June, July for a while, but you don't win November, October, November, December. That's been Eagles territory over the last decade or so.
That's y'all territory.
Then you're going to show it. See, you're lucky I can't see this guy. I don't get to see all this stuff you put on there. You know what I mean?
You asked for the bullies. I just want to make sure all our viewers can see the bullies that they're talking about, because those bullies are back. And like I said, but so what happened last year, right? Y'all were the favorites. Y'all were the favorites in both games, and y'all lost to Andy Dalton. So it happens. So y'all always correct. Y'all love going back to 2019. Let's talk about what happened last year. Y'all should have lost both games.
You're right? As Andy Dalton won't be there, either will Carson, either will Doug, either will Jim, either will be Drake Driscoll, Nate Herbig, Matt Pryor. Them guys won't be there either.
But you know what I mean? Will be there, and he lost.
Oh, that's one. That's one.
That's the most important one. That's your quarterback. That's your quarterback, man. He's struggled.
And as we know, he struggled. What is the quarterback?
He struggled against one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
11th in pass defense. Run the ball. We should have kept running the ball. Well, Let me ask you this. What? Give me a quarterback that you think can legit succeed with one offensive line starter and a receiving core who don't have over 500 yards. Let me ask you this. Do you even think some of the greats can win multiple games, not rattle off one game? Can people win with one remaining offensive line starter and a receiving core who can't get you 500 yards? Let me ask you, Dak Prescott was struggling before Amari Cooper came there. They gave him a weapon. They keep giving him weapons. They got him an offensive line. And so, like I said, I don't judge the Cowboys' totality last year because Dak wasn't there. And out of the 11 starters on offense, there's probably like 2 or 3 coming back.
Right.
And Jalen Hurts being one. But the other 8 that I'm not talking about is going to make Jalen Hurts better. Just like Dak is going to make your team better.
Right. So you're saying due to injuries, right? That's what you're playing like. So last year, because you didn't have injuries as a quarterback, though. But
all right, so look, you can have your most important. So let me ask you this: your most important person stays up, but everybody else goes around them, goes down, or you know what I mean, vice versa.
If that would have happened to us last year, we'd have made the playoffs. If Dak doesn't go down, we make the playoffs.
Take your top 2 wide receivers off and take 4 of your offensive linemen off and take Zeke out for 6 games.
Yeah.
Dak can carry that team?
Yeah, we make the playoffs last year.
So no CeeDee Lamb and no Amari Cooper. You're saying with Gallup and whoever else is left, you got to sign players probably. No and take out 4 offensive linemen and take Zeke out.
Yeah, we'd make the playoffs. We were 1 game away from the playoffs last year without all the injuries, without Dak.
No. What I'm saying is you start over. You get Dak the whole season, but you don't get CD. You don't get Amari. You don't get Zach Martin. You don't get this guy. You don't get 4 offensive linemen. You don't get 2 wide receivers. Your tight end goes down, which, take Jarwin out too because he did anyways. You see what I'm saying is I'm saying if I went to Kansas City and took off Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and 4 offensive linemen.
So that's the case. Then why did y'all move in from Wentz? Like, why did y'all move on from Wentz? Why didn't y'all just give him the injury pass because he didn't have all his weapons? And
because he's busy. He won it out, and this is a new era where if it's NBA or NFL, if you won out, it's going to happen. He was quiet in this whole mess, but he made it clear that he doesn't want to be in Philly. You hear his comments in Colts. This feels more like home. He was never built for the city, and when you're winning, the city loves you regardless. But you have to be able to go through adversity if you're a Philadelphia Eagle player. You know what I mean? And I thought he was built differently, being North Dakota strong. Maybe on the outside, not on the inside. At the end of the day, you got to understand, take what I took off the Eagles for anybody, and there's going to be concerns. Maybe a Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers keeps them afloat.
Yeah, but
it's going to hurt. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is a Russell Wilson, but I'm not saying he's a Teddy Bridgewater either, or Jamarcus a bust, because what he was able to do, even for a small sample size, with the garbage that was around them, is enticing enough to say, if this stuff gets done right, if we can stay healthy, I mean, the sky's the limit, and that's all I want to see. You know what I mean? Again, 4-11-1. We want to get better than that.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you guys, we're trying to come up. You guys are just trying to stay what you believed you guys put together without injuries. But again, a reason I really can't believe in you is because you had a dynamic offense in 2019, and it equaled 8. You told me
that offense is completely different than what we have on the field right now.
It was dynamic, though. I think it was top 5 in the NFL.
Yeah, Dak was putting on mega yards that year. But what you see right now in place is completely different than what we had in 2019. And what I was saying, like, I feel like Dak, with all that going around, would still make the playoffs because we should have been playoff contenders this year without Dak Prescott. We would have beat you guys the first game when we had Ben DiNucci out there, our 4th-string quarterback. That was a close game. It wasn't a blowout game. Like,
correct.
We had a close game versus the Steelers when they were undefeated with Garrett Gilbert.
I'm not going to make excuses for Carson Wentz. He's not a Philadelphia Eagle. Hey, listen, if Ben DiNucci would have beat him, we might have been able to see Jalen Hurts one more game earlier. Hey, you should have beat him.
Exactly. So I want to take a few questions from the chat, man. Like, I appreciate you. I see they keep going on and on. I think you got a super chat coming in. Let me ask you this, bro. And I know you're kind of in Jersey, but like
I'm in PA.
PA. Oh, you're in PA? Okay, cool. So Philadelphia is supposed to be like known of like hardcore trash talk. Why are y'all fans so trash at trash talk? Like, y'all,
what?
Yeah, cow turds, VCRs. Like, I thought it'd be a lot better. Maybe it's just the wrong people that's in the chat. Maybe there's some other people.
Well, look, we're not gonna go Philly, slang on you, because we try to keep it respectful on YouTube. You know what I mean? Guys, shout out to Bruno. He said, question for the Gouter fan. How many NFC Championship games have you experienced not Super Bowl? Wait, J-Tuck, if you don't mind me asking, I said I'm 30 years old.
Yeah, I'm 37.
All right, so you were fringe around for that. How old were you the last Super Bowl? Like
4th grade-ish or what? That's like 9, 10, something like that. Yeah.
9, 10? Yeah. All right. So you still might have picked video games over football at that age.
I had the shark tooth. I had the Dallas Cowboys starter jacket. I had all that, man. I knew about primetime football and all that. So it was like,
Look. I got pictures of me when I'm 6 in Eagles gear because I became a fan because of the family.
Right.
But just because I'm wearing an Eagles gear don't mean I wasn't at 6 years old worried about what the next episode of Scooby-Doo was coming on.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, man, some things take time. Like I said, I live here in Kansas City, man. It took them 50 years to get it. Like, you can't say that Kansas City is a mediocre team. Sometimes
you lived in Kansas City your whole life?
Nah, for the majority of it. Like,
so real quick, how did you become a Cowboys fan?
So I grew up in Austin, Texas. So when I was young, the Dallas Cowboys used to have their training camp in Austin, the University of Texas. So I was always a Dallas Cowboys fan out the gate. So That's how it was, man.
So your parents were they Cowboys fans too?
Yeah, family's Cowboys fans. Yeah, that's all I know, man.
Because look. Sometimes the apple falls far from the tree, but look, if you got people like me and you who are dedicated to whatever shield we're repping,
right.
There's no way my son can fall away from this tree.
Right? No, they're not. They're not. Yeah, my kids. My kids, they already know, man. They're born into it whether they want to or not, man. So. Let's see here. Let's see. J Tuck Crumbles want to ask a legit question. Well, ask one, stupid. I'm asking the chat to ask a question. No one's asking a question. They're like, let's see.
So wait, let me ask you this. I said we're gonna win between 6 and 9. What is your honest opinion?
I got between 10 to 12.
10 to 12.
I gotta say 11 wins. I think 10 to 11.
All right, 11 wins.
Yeah.
CFT, if you're still in here, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an extra game. You know what I mean? So there's 17 games.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got about 10 wins, like 10 and 7.
And see, and this is why people say, I say 6 to 9 wins because, listen, at the end of the day, because of the unknown factor, But see, here's. As you know, whenever you get a new player, you do as much due diligence as you can.
Right.
And so I really look at what Nick Sirianni did with the Colts. I look at the players we have on a team. Do we have players that fit his role? Did we draft players that fit his role? Can I see this, that, and a third? Does this work in that? And so with doing all that, I see there's upside where I can say, dang, if things are, for a rookie quarterback, that's pretty much when he played 4 games in a COVID season. If he should, I'm telling you right now, if Jalen Hurts is B+ or better, and Nick Sirianni is just as balanced as I think he's going to be,
right?
That's when I see us on a higher end of my scale. But if Nick Sirianni, who sometimes it doesn't come out right away, he fumbles a little bit, he knows what he's doing, but he's a little nervous. And if an injury or two happens, I could tailor it to. I know we got to be better than 4 wins, but I got a 6 to 9 window, and that's where I think if something goes horribly wrong for the Cowboys, or not even horribly wrong, because you got him at around 10-11. I saw CFT, he said 13-4. My guy's on that game. On vacation again, my guy? No, I'm just kidding. So, and that's why I think, a late season loss again. And look, I don't know why, but I feel like every year the injuries just get worse and worse. Mm-hmm. Too many star players go down. Look at Cam Akers already. Right. I mean, it's disgusting. And I don't wish injury on even my most hated teams. I do not wish injury. I was never coming at Dak's ankle at all. You know what I mean? I wish him nothing but success when he not success in life, but outside the football field, because I don't want him to be successful. Can't have that. But you know what I mean? I think the East is gonna be interesting. I don't see anybody running away with it because I still think Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore still calls your plays, right?
Right, for the most part.
What do you mean for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, he's their offensive coordinator. He calls the plays. But I think that Mike McCarthy is starting to be a little bit more hands-on from what we're hearing. But I think Kellen Moore is...
Do you think that's better?
Nah. Honestly.
So
I'm cool. I'm cool with Kellen Moore. I like Kellen Moore.
So why would it be more hands-on if the offense wasn't the problem necessarily? What is...
Because that's what Mike McCarthy does best, right? He's a play caller, right? So you have to have some type of value. So I think he's going to be more in the playing the game plans, and also with Kellen Moore, like just being more hands on the offense, is where Kellen Moore really struggles in the red zone, right? So I feel like that's where you're going to see Mike McCarthy maybe grab the reins a little bit more as far as the play calling is concerned. Yeah. But
veto a couple plays, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
They're trying to throw it Dak on 3rd and 3.
Right. Run the
ball.
Yeah, we're not going to run a jet sweep down here in the red zone. Like, just give it to Zeke and let him do his thing. I think the question was asked. I'll ask you this question: who do you think is a better running back, Sanders or Ezekiel Elliott?
I give it to Zeke still.
Let me ask you this: what offense position do you guys have that's better than ours? Let me ask you that.
Offensive line. When healthy. Tight end.
Who's your tight end?
Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, got them both on the squad right now.
Okay.
Real quick, shout out to Aaron though with the $9.99 super chat. He said the Birds are a huge question mark. We could win like 4 or 5, but if Jalen Hurts and Sirianni and positives, we could win 6 to 9. But if they are really good, we might win more. So he's on my thing that really, because look, here's the thing. This is what my biggest thing is. Last year, Jalen Hurts had 0 around him, including coaches, right? So this year, Howie Roseman put a coach that is really X and O and football savvy, supposedly, right? That's what we getting from his meetings, his talking. He's a little crazy, McStuttery like me, but when it comes down to talking about football, he won him over, right? So we put around so far. Last year, we already had Brandon Brooks hurt at this time. Brandon Brooks was hurt already. You know what I mean? So you got to help the offensive line. And Lane Johnson, it wasn't like his surgery went wrong. So it wasn't like he kept getting injured. It went wrong. So now, and we sat him out the end of the season. So he's going to be at the tip-top shape he's been in the last 3 years, right? With that being said, we're putting around Jalen Hurts the stuff to be successful. It's up to him now. So if he takes the job and runs, the Eagles can be as competitive as a team in the NFL because of the 4 or 5 playmakers we signed to 1-year deals on the defense. You know, the defense, how many games did the defense let Carson down when he was still playing at a decent level? You know what I mean? So we gave him the defense, we gave him the offense, and we put a coach who should utilize his skill. It's up to him. But if Jalen Hurts ain't the guy, well, now we do have a backup plan in the 3 first-round picks, but now our rebuild back to staying in contention is delayed 2 or 3 years, and that's when maybe the Cowboys can take a run. But it's really about Jalen Hurts. But we have a contingency plan, a plan. That's what it is.
All right. Well, we shall see. Like I said, week 3, once we get here, we're probably going to link up, my guy, do a whole another round table. But like I said, man, I rock with you. You're my guy, Mike. Also, shout out to Joe, Philly Notion, some of the other guys that do content. But I'm tired of talking to y'all because I said this. The real threat to me as a Cowboys fan is the Giants. I'm not really even focused on the Eagles. That's kind of, it's just for conversation's sake, for content.
So you think Daniel Jones is going to be able to keep them
I
relevant?
Like the NFC East is going to come down between the Giants and the Cowboys. So that's who my aim is really on, to be able to make. So
you think that what they put around Daniel Jones is going to bring it out of him, or do you think Daniel Jones is actually a decent quarterback?
I think that he's decent, and Jason Garrett's going to know how to protect a decent quarterback if Saquon is healthy. So he has Tony, he has Galladay, he got some of these other wide receivers. So I feel like Jason Garrett's going to make the offense, simplistic enough that Daniel Jones will be able to thrive and do what he does best. And I feel like with their defense, they're going to be well in contention. So I feel like that's the mark that I'm really setting for the Cowboys, is making sure that we're competing with the Giants for the division. Eagles is all fun and games. I appreciate the Eagles fans for tuning in and all that stuff. But y'all really ain't my focus, man. Like I said, my main focus for the Eagles this year is just making sure y'all are bad, but good enough to not get Stingley Jr. next year in the draft. That's it.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey, wait, shout out to CFT. Look, I've never been a person who says you Cowboy people who were hurt is going to come back horrible. I've said multiple times on here, I don't think it's going to be physical. I just want to see if he second guessed this. And he still looks great, but there could be some plays where he hesitates and things happen. And we might not even be able to see it. It's just me asking the question. But here's the thing. There is players on the Eagles who are coming back who I am nervous about. Lane Johnson is not one of, because he was never really hurt. When the surgery went wrong, they corrected it. It was sore. So he played on it sore, and he couldn't give us he wasn't Lane Johnson. So the thing was, is he doing more harm to the ankle while not being Lane Johnson? Right. Let's let him relax. So I'm not worried about Lane Johnson. A guy like Brandon Brooks, I'm worried about. Let's say Ronnie McLeod coming back, I'm worried about. But I'm going to have to see. But I've never been a guy who sat up here in any of my videos, or even when I talk to you, CFT, because you coming up next. Actually, we got an NFC roundtable that's long overdue, close into it. But
They literally had reconstructive ankle surgery.
Correct. And then played on it, and it was just sore. He never he's out. Mm-hmm. Listen, he got the surgery, and he played on it sore, and it was bothering him. We didn't go back again this offseason and get it done. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
And I see people like, oh, well, Washington won the division last year. Yeah, because you guys tanked and gave them the division. Like, bro, I'm not worried about Washington. It's the Giants.
It brought us a first. Yeah, listen to this though.
I know. I know exactly what you guys did. You ain't gotta tell me. I know exactly what y'all did, man. It's okay. It's okay. But at least y'all admit what y'all did because we all saw it. Right. We all saw it, man. But hey, Mike, I appreciate you for coming on to my home field, man. I appreciate you. Not a lot of people want to take the guts to do that. Come on my channel. I'm on other people's channel, man. So I appreciate you.
Yo, I do got to tell you, again, I don't see all the graphics and all that, but I've been low-key watching on my phone. The guy is an animal. I would have loved if this guy was a Eagle content creator. Because, you know what I mean? I could be more on the nice screen.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you, man. Like I said, you need my help. I got you, man. That's what we do, man. You know, we Cowboys fan. We got to do it big. We got to do it luxury. We got to do it visually, man. That's what we do, man. We got to CowboysFansOnly.com. You know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do, man. But I appreciate you, my guy. Like I said, you do great content. Even when you tap out and do Sixers content, I tap in and watch your basketball stuff, man. So you really just keep the voice of Philly alive, man. I appreciate you. Like I said, once we get kind of around to week 3, we'll link up. I think Joe's going to actually be in that game in Dallas, and so we're going to talk.
Y'all got to go live there.
Yeah. We're gonna talk outside that stadium, man. We'll see what's up.
Figure
man.
it out.
But like I said, but before the people who don't, before I let you go, man, tell them where they can find you, all your stuff, Twitter, Instagram, you know, all your social medias, man.
Yeah, man, you can follow me on Twitter. So yeah, Cowboy Nation, if you know you want to come at me and all that stuff, because listen, the best time, look, I'll be there, win, lose, or draw. So if we losing, I'm going to take it like a man. But, hey, at Philly_Mike25, come on the channel, leave a troll remark. I got a lot of Cowboy peoples here even before I started doing stuff with Cowboys people. But shout out to J Tuck and shout out to CFT. You know what I mean? They're cool people. I've been at least messing with them before they were both at like 500 subs. So, you know, I met them early and I respect their grinds, both their grinds.
Appreciate. Like I said, you was like one of the first people on my channel. Like, oh, it's a Philly person. Like, what does this mean? Like,
yeah, you said I normally don't follow other fans. I was really only Cowboy fans, but I guess I'll give you a follow.
Yeah, because man, you can't. I mean, help. But I'll be honest with y'all. I'm gonna say this. I got more Cowboys fans blocked on Twitter than I got Eagles fans. Eagles fans leave me alone because I really don't mess with them like that. Like, it's always other fan bases, like some random fan base. Like I said, it was about the Bills. Bills fans were all on me because I posted a video about Cole Beasley, and so they were chiming in, and I was like, you know what? Local ass Bills, like, you know what I'm saying? So I posted a video. I just didn't feel like editing, so I just used Jalen Hurts, and here we are, man. But like I said, Mike, I appreciate you. And for everyone watching me for the first time, of course, J Tuck on Twitter at JTuck151. You can comment, like, subscribe to my channel, Cowboys Fans Only, and then also Cowboys Fans, CowboysFansOnly.com. 10% off CFO gang. You know the vibes, man. When do you guys start camp? You guys start camp tomorrow?
Wednesday. See, you know what I mean? Look, when you are this confident in your team, you don't gotta rush to the field. I mean, Cowboys need all the practice they can get. They out there early. The Cowboys were the first team to get on the field.
We are out there early because we're playing in the Hall of Fame game.
You need as much practice as you can get.
Exactly. We're the Hall of Fame game because it got canceled last year, and so the NFL wants those ratings. They're like, can y'all please run it back? You and the Steelers, like, please run it back. And Jerry's like, all right, we can do it. And I guess we can open up the season versus Tampa. And I guess we can be hard. Not like, dang, how much do you need from us? How much do you need from us, man? But it's okay.
But I'm saying, though, like, you know, I had to sit through and watch that the Cowboys, was the Cowboys the only team that started training camp this week? Or were you? I know you were the first team. I know that.
First team, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first team, man. Yeah. I know you're going to say it. You had to sit back and watch. That's exactly what you're going to
I got to say this real quick. I got to say this. Hey, CFT. When you put up that video of Micah Parsons running stride for stride, here's the thing. He was getting beat. CeeDee Lamb had to come back for the ball because I know Dak was rolling out, and it's just practice. We talking about practice?
Right.
Listen, Philly fans know about AI in practice, right? But Dak threw the ball behind. He underthrew it. CeeDee had to come back, and that's why your boy Parsons was there. But listen,
But you saw it.
If in real NFL games, if you're putting him on as a receiver, shout out to Dan Quinn. I love Dan Quinn.
Nah. He'll be all right. Don't worry. Y'all gonna get acclimated to Micah Parsons soon, very soon. He's from y'all place. That's y'all homegrown. He's homegrown.
Listen. Don't blitz Parsons if our boy Kenneth Gainwell in the back. Remember last time he took his head off.
Nah, we good. We good. Don't worry, man. Like I said, Monday Night Football is on. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna put up these numbers. And we'll see. Yeah, the Steelers are at camp too because we played them. So
you know what?
But you haven't heard about the Steelers camp. Have you watched the Steelers camp?
Yeah.
You watched the Steelers training camp. Exactly. You ain't watched those Steelers training camp, bro. You watched the Cowboys training camp, though.
Listen, I wouldn't even know if it wasn't for you guys. Listen, there's only 2 Cowboy people I follow, J Tuck and CFT, and y'all piss me off on Twitter.
Hey, man, likewise, man. I see you and Joe in all these videos, man. I want to see that, but sometimes I gotta make sure I know what the hell y'all got going on over there. And like I said, it helps me. Like I said, great content, my guy. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Cowboys Nation, y'all came through and banged with these Eagles fans. They still talking about VCRs and all. You know, step it up a little bit.
What is that? What is that?
Well, you haven't watched it. You got to pull out a VCR to watch your Super Bowls. Like the Super Bowls aren't on YouTube. Like. What are you talking about? Like, come on, do better. Just do better, Philly fans. It is what it is, man. But, hey,
is it black and white though?
Huh? No, it's
black and white.
It's color. It's color, man. It's color, man. It's color. But we gonna get one soon.
I was 5 years old.
Yeah. You know, it's all right. But you know, you were watching. You were probably watching, man. Your family was watching. Everyone was huddled around the TV. I didn't even watch when you guys won the Super Bowl. So
you lying?
No, I'm. And I say this and people slander me about this.
Listen, if you are a football fan, how could you not turn on the Super Bowl?
People get on me about that. I'm not, though. I'm not a football fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. I can care less what other teams are doing, to be honest with you.
So you don't watch no football, for real?
I do, depending on who it is. Like I said, I watch the Chiefs or whatnot, but it's like...
All right, so
I don't watch the JV teams. I'm just not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Whoa. Let me just say this though. For us not being the most viewed team, right, and all that stuff, how good was them ratings, right? That was the highest scoring Super Bowl ever when you combine both offenses. It was what the new NFL is trying to do. Offense.
Probably.
Yes, sir. Probably. 500 yards from Tom Brady, and he still took the L.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Congratulations, you got one. Do it again.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, the trend is we should get it again. Listen, you haven't won in the new era. Come to the new millennium. But let me just say this. Last thing. This is last trash talk. Bro, there are people who were born, raised, and started their own family
right
before y'all got to the NFC Championship. You know what I mean? There's babies that came into this world who are married with two kids, maybe 2 kids, right, got a career,
right,
and hasn't seen it.
Right.
Damn, that's a bad world to live in. If you are a Cowboy fan under 30.
Yeah, I'm not.
If you're older,
I'm not one of these Cowboys fans like it's all rosy. Like, no, we do have our issues in-house. Like, there's things that we complain about that we definitely need to fix, but compared to y'all is what I'm saying. That's the problem. Like, it's compared to y'all. Like,
I'm just still mad that you really putting some respect on Danny Penny's names like that. Like, he gonna carry the Giants.
Nah, I mean, like I said, they're gonna be decent if Saquon can hold up. Like I said, I think Jason Garrett's going to make things simple for him and put him in the best situation to win. So that's
why didn't Jason Garrett put you guys in the best situation to win?
But he did. Like we weren't bad under Jason Garrett. We were mediocre. Like I feel like mediocre. If they're at 8-win, if the Giants are an 8-win team, right? They're going to be within that range of 10 wins to win the NFC East.
So you're still so you really believe we're going to win under 6? Like truly?
So it was 6.5. So yeah, I would say it's 6.5. I don't think you guys are getting 7 wins.
What is your total?
For us?
9?
For the Cowboys, we were 9.5.
All right.
Yeah. Which is kind of it's close, 9.5, but 6.5 for Philly, I would say under.
Hey, CFT, you better smash that over. You got 13 wins, bro. You better smash that over.
13. Like, I'm not. See, CFT, he's the most optimistic Cowboys fan. I'm kind of, but he's optimistic. Like he the one that pulls me up and be like, all right, bro. I'm like, all right, let's ride, man. So, why did Boss Man shut down?
I know.
Like,
yeah. Why didn't he play him the whole game?
And here's what I was saying, because I'm realistic Cowboys fan. I don't believe in this whole Boss Man versus Devontae Smith thing.
It was 3 reps.
I know. I said that. But Cowboys fans get on me for saying that, so it's like I'll let them have it. But if we rolling with Boss Man shut down Devontae Smith, that's what we rolling with. So yeah, those 3 reps, man. He got an interception.
Now CFT's gonna say, well, he only knocked Micah Parsons on the ground 1 time. That's because Micah Parsons said I ain't going back that way. No, listen. Micah Parsons in the class of his own. This is a 5th round running back who I think has upside. That's a 1st round linebacker. I'm just happy. Listen, when I saw the highlight, I just said, look, brownie points. If you're gonna lay a lick on anybody, if he's the Cowboy, I give you brownie points. You know what I mean?
Right. Listen, I ain't got no problem with Philly, man. Y'all don't have Deshaun Jackson, so you're cool, my brother.
Listen, you don't got a problem with Philly because you're not putting no respect on their name. Once the season come around, you're gonna hate Philly.
But that's the thing, y'all want respect, but it's like I'm trying to find a way to, but y'all don't want respect. Like it's different. Like right now today, hearing that Aaron Rodgers is back, I'm like, all right, bro, damn, here we go. Like that's where my respect is going towards them. Like I don't even respect Tampa, to be honest with you. So I mean, if we being straight, it's like, all right, it is what it is. Like.
No respect to Tampa?
No, I'm not respecting Tampa like that. So Thursday night, opening game, I'm gonna be in Tampa. You want me to respect you? All right, let's take it. But it's like, yeah, Green Bay, teams like that. Like Kansas City, I respect them. Philly,
you got you live there. They go get.
I bang with them just like I bang with y'all, man. They used to be local JV team just like y'all, and then they kind of emerged and. Now they're playing at 3 o'clock in primetime games, and so things can get better. Just keep your head up, man.
All I'm saying is this: right now, you got the Giants on your radar. By the middle of the season, by the middle of the season, you'll be like, let me. Whoa, what is Philly doing? But let me just say this though: we have a hard first 6 games. To be honest, let me just say this:
Pitts train coming to town.
Listen, I would be excited if the Eagles go 3-3 to start the season because of the early games we have. 2 of them games are Tampa and Kansas City. I'm not saying we couldn't upset them, but I'm chalking them up as L's at this point. So if the Eagles, the Cowboys and the Eagles have a top 5 easy schedule, supposedly, right? I think we're in the top 5 easiest. Right? But our easiest part is like, that 9 through the end. We don't get a bye week to 14.
Right. That's our schedule is clunky too, especially with all the primetime games, not the flex, but like it throws our schedule off like hella.
Hold on. Do you know 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years. 2 years ago, we were either tied with a couple people or we had one of the most primetime games too.
Right. Yeah. I know because.
And in a couple more years, we'll be right
as
back.
long as we'll be primetime, you guys will be primetime too, man. Like I said, come on.
Look,
and like I said, you guys aren't far removed from the cool table. You guys aren't at the cool table, but you're kind of sitting next to it. Like,
why are we? This is football. Why are we talking about a cool table?
I'm just saying that because that's what ruffled y'all feathers. Like y'all are mad. Like,
oh my god,
man, y'all sitting next. Y'all got a chair or something over there, but y'all not at it. You're not at it with us. And
you came on here arguing a point that I already gave you.
Right.
Because my exact response was
that wasn't for you. That was for them. That was for them.
Yeah. I give you that.
Yeah.
I said, I forgot my exact words, but it's like, look, how can a team prioritize being cool over being winners?
But we do both. That's what y'all don't get. We win and we're popping. We win and we're popping. Like, yes. Like it's not like I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan. I'm coming here like, bro, like we still win. Now if we came out for the last 5 years and we're winning 4 games, 3 games, 4 games, different conversation. We're just not consistent. Like that's our problem. We'll have a 13-3 game season and then we'll get 8-8. And then we'll do like Tennessee. Like we're just not a bad.
That was
team.
under Jason Garrett.
Right.
So far, all we know is the under 500 McCarthy. Now I know
because
Dak wasn't there
because of all the injuries. If we had Jason Garrett last year, we would have probably got Kyle Pitts.
We won a Super Bowl with our backup.
We didn't have a backup. We had our 4th string quarterback.
That Dalton was there for a little bit.
He got his head knocked off. And we stood around. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the problem. Like, we were playing with our 4th string, 3rd string quarterback. But don't worry. Like I told you guys on that round table before that first game, when I get my quarterback, I'm pulling up. So here we are. Dak's back. Keep that same energy y'all had last year when y'all was facing Ben DiNucci. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
Yeah, well, look. All I want to say to you is, when the Eagles are better than what people think, you're going to have, right? Because right now, we kept it type civil. You know, you came with your facts. You really wanted to push the cool table. Take it. Pool table, cool table. Yeah. It is what it is. But when the Eagles are better than people think, now you're not going to be able to just worry about the Giants. You're going to be on these streams now arguing a little bit more intensely, because you're going to say, damn, where did Philly come from? I try to tell you.
I don't think you guys are going to be bad. Like the 3-win type thing that you're hearing. Like, no, I think you guys will probably be around 6 games, 6 or 7 games. Like right up in there.
Oh, you say you'll take the under, so you got to like around 6.
Because of the 6.5. That's what I'm saying. Like 6.5 is like, I don't 7, 6 is more. I'll take that. So, but 3, no, I think you guys will be well above 3. I hope you guys are 3. I want you guys at 7 wins, like I said.
Nah. We either going for the playoffs or we winning like 3 and getting Sting.
Nah, y'all not getting Sting, man.
There's no in between.
Yeah, y'all need to be in between. Go. Yeah, 8-9, man. Something like that, man. But hey, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, for everyone tuning in the chat, appreciate all the support, all the super chats. Appreciate you, my guy Mike, man. All you do. Cowboys up, Cowboys Nation. Y'all know how it goes. We got bigger fish to fry, man. So I'm gonna get my guy Pest the analyst on from New York Giants, because we got to talk about there. You know what I'm saying? Aim the target a little bit higher, man. But I appreciate you guys. Everyone have a good one. Even Eagles fans, y'all have a good one. In week 3, Monday Night Football, prime time. We'll talk. Peace.